Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. On Christmas Day, a new series premiered on Netflix, and it's a prequel to The Witcher, and it is called The Witcher: Blood Origin. And it is horribly bad. It is so bad that right now, over on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a tomato meter score of 38%, which are the critics' reviews, but the average audience score is 8%. And that's no joke. And over the course of the day, this audience score has dropped. It was at 12% earlier today, then it went to 9%, and now it's at 8%. And it's been at 8% for most of the day. So it is genuinely bad. Over on IMDb, the score is at 3.9 out of 10, which is a bit higher than 8%. But if we click on this to see what the distribution is, you can very easily see that the vast majority of people who are voting on this are giving it a rating of 1 on IMDb. And it is far less popular with people outside of the US than within the US. So a lot of the negative votes are coming from outside the US. So this is a very despised show. And it isn't much better over on Metacritic, where the score is at 0.6. This is actually really close to the score over on Rotten Tomatoes with the 8%. So yes, this is a horrible, dreadful show. But this article does provide a little information as to why this show is so bad. So the author writes, at the time of writing this article, The Witcher: Blood Origin held a 39% score on Rotten Tomatoes. And as I showed, it went down to 38%, giving it a rotten certification. Although the universe of The Witcher is quite rich, with a variety of monsters, magical creatures and people, and many conflicts between different groups, Blood Origin seems to have fallen short and not taken advantage of all that to tell an engaging story, led by interesting characters that adds to what the main series has established so far. Blood Origin is lacking the wit of The Witcher, which mostly comes from Geralt of Rivia, as well as the sense of humor and its story, which hopes to address concepts and questions left by The Witcher, is overloaded with these. So this whole thing is really just completely lacking in plot. It has very dull characters. The story in this is not going anywhere. And guess what? This thing was not actually written by Andrzej Sapkowski, who is the original author of The Witcher. Blood Origin sounds more like a bastardization of what Sapkowski originally wrote, much like the bastardization that showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay did over at Amazon with their crappy show, Lord of the Rings of Power, which is also very much despised. Critics are pointing out how Blood Origin used a formula that has been seen countless times in fantasy stories, that of a group of different people brought together with a shared purpose, and doesn't add much to the backstory of The Witcher. And instead, it seems like it's teasing a couple of things for the upcoming seasons of the main series, yet the stories and characters won't be memorable. One of the biggest complaints is the script itself, with awkward dialogues and underdeveloped characters that not even its cast can save, though its biggest crime seems to be how it wasted Michelle Yeoh's talents. So I want to take a moment to share what the actual first line from Blood Origin is, because somebody over on Twitter was kind enough to actually document it. The very first line of dialogue was shared by Twitter user Colonel Otaku Gatekeeper over on Twitter yesterday. And hold on to your hats because it's a real doozy of an opening line. Here it is. No, fucking fuckity fucking fuck. Wow. That's a really profound statement, isn't it? All that really tells me is that whoever wrote this line obviously knows profanity, but they probably don't know that much else. It's really, really bad. You can go to any playground in this country and hear profanity like that. That doesn't take any talent whatsoever. And this is who Netflix hired to write this horrible show. Let's go back to the article for a moment. Blood Origin looks to cover a lot and isn't given enough time to do so, resulting in forgettable characters and stories that make it an unnecessary addition to this universe, and proving that there can't be The Witcher without Geralt. Now, the rest of this article basically takes a lot of snips from what other critics have written on other websites. And this came from The Empire. It all could have added up to a Sword and Sorcery 7 Samurai, or even a Magnificent 7, but with largely flat performances, tacky-looking VFX, even tackier-looking sets, and a risible script. Let's stop this bickering and change the future of Elfkind forever. It's more like Battle Beyond the Stars. That's going to make me laugh. It's more like Battle Beyond the Stars meets Hawk the Slayer. And for those of you who may be unfamiliar, Battle Beyond the Stars was a truly, truly bad sci-fi thing that came out in the 70s. It's really bad. It even somehow wastes Michelle Yeoh, who as Skian, last of the Ghost Tribe, is given relatively little to do other than a few cool but brief sword fights. And that really is a waste of her talent. So I hope they paid her well. I hope she enjoyed doing this, because this is not going to look good on her resume, that's for sure. So instead of reading the rest of these reviews, which are a lot of fun to read in many cases, I want to share a brief video clip that the Witcher Twitter account shared the other day, and it's really entertaining.
I can give you 1,000. The casts are insane.
And that's supposed to make me want to watch this thing?
The action is fierce.
Minnie Driver's delivery of that line wasn't particularly convincing to me, I must admit.
It's got Michelle Yeoh, who is, I mean, you already know that, but she's just incredible.
While this guy is very excited about Michelle Yeoh being in the show, I don't know what he's wearing, but it looks like something that you would have seen in a 1970s disco.
It's set 1,000 years before The Witcher.
So they apparently use American Sign Language in this fantasy realm.
It explores part of the lore of The Witcher that hasn't been explored before.
Well, let's be more honest here. It's exploring things that the original author of The Witcher, Andrzej Sapkowski, never wrote.
There are monsters like we've never seen before.
And as I said before, that is not an enticement for me to want to watch this thing.
It has the first kiss between two men in the show.
Well, yippee skippy for that. As before, that's not an inducement for me to want to watch this show. There's a 70s discotheque waiting for this guy, I think.
The costumes are divine. The makeup, the hair. Bon appetit.
That sounds more like a plug for a fashion show, not a fantasy action adventure show.
It's a show that's made with so much love, and that's really fun.
Some of the people who worked on this thing might have had fun while they were doing it, but I don't think the audience is enjoying it, so I don't think they're having any fun watching it. So this series is truly just a piece of garbage. And it's no wonder why it has such a horribly low rating over on Rotten Tomatoes, as well as IMDb and Metacritic. Nobody likes this show. It was a complete waste of time. Henry Cavill should be thrilled that he is now no longer associated with this program. He's gone on to do something else. Very happy for him. He clearly made the right call when he decided to leave The Witcher. Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button, and please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.